I'm Dominique Hamerlijnck. I'm one of the patient advocates from the Dutch Lung Foundation, and we do quite a lot of different projects, and usually it goes two ways. We are asked for a specific project because they know we're interested in it, or we have sort of general calls saying who would be interested in being involved in a specific project. I started in 1980 when my primary care physician asked me to talk to some medical students on what it's like to live with asthma. And it sort of developed from there, and the main change happened when I worked for the Asthma Foundation as the leader of patient involvement. And from there it developed, because then I got really interested in what we could do. It goes from being giving advice or advising on project applications, but also going to EMA. We were asked to advice on a big EU project, research project, even before the first application was given. And it was really wonderful because the primary proposer, he was really interested, and he completely changed the proposal because of what we told him would be possible for patients with severe asthma. We looked at all the proposals. We had a patient group of about 12 people, and we talked together on advising on proposals, and we helped each other, and I learned about as much from my fellow patients as I learned from the researchers, because everybody sees different things. Like with informed consent, all of us have a language sensitivity that's different, and it really worked very well. So we saw the proposals, we saw the informed consent, we helped them develop patient information leaflets on specific aspects of what the patients involved in the trial would go through. We helped them contact patients because they had a lot of problems in getting enough patients included in the research. And for the first time, we were involved in the work packages. So 2 of us were added to the work package and followed every discussion between the work package participants as patients as well. So we were really deeply involved in the project, which from beginning to end, that was really good. The Dutch Lung Foundation invested when they made a special group of people who are experienced in being experienced in the disease. There's not a real English word for it. And they gave us some training on communication, in how to communicate in a way that connects instead of repels, so that you're not telling a doctor they do everything wrong, but more find a way of talking together. And we had a few of those, but I think what was really educational is we worked on a project where we as patients developed what questions would be interesting in giving advice on a research proposal. And that really got all of us thinking about our role as patient advocates. And things like EUPATI or going to EMA, just reading stuff is so educational. Because then you see different aspects, and that really helps. It's a good example. I was invited to a clinical trial development group, which sort of is a consortium of the Dutch government, the Dutch clinical trial organizations and the pharmaceutical industry, and they're trying to get patients involved. And they had an open meeting, and because of EUPATI, I noticed I was talking differently with them and had a different kind of input and could be more patient in what I was saying. And this worked really well because I knew there was this wealth of information that I had in my backpack, but I didn't have to tell everything from the get-go. And that I think EUPATI helped me in. One of the barriers, because I also work with HTA and cost-effective analysis modelers and researchers, is that you have to find a common language. You have to find a way to be interested in what they tell you and make a translation, but also translate what you're saying so that you find a common ground, and that is a difficult thing to achieve. I feel that's a barrier, but once you've achieved it, you get into the real conversation. So you sort of, then you get influenced, then people start listening. When I started in the 1980s, we could do very little. We could talk to some doctors, we could maybe talk to some medical students, but all these little steps help. So it is an incremental system, and we're in the forefront. So patience, being patient, is really important. We're getting there, but it is still a slow process. 10 years ago, we couldn't do what we do now. We're in the forefront. And so we are the select group of usually high educated, highly vocal and interested and out there patients. But so it's important to get us to be more involved in different areas, but also how can we involve less vocal, less educated people and develop a form of patient advocacy that fits them.